1973, there's a look at Highmark Stadium just outside of Buffalo, New York. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Allen going to look to throw on the first play. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, that they get to it.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense had their script together on this one, and their script said put the quarterback down and do it fast.
Yeah, I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Here's Allen to throw it. Open target here, Darius Slayton. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play fake. Cousins. That'll be caught. It's Rager. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 35.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Four yards remain for 2nd down. Cousins gives way to Cook. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. On play action, Cousins. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills will take over here at their own 14-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was, or whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 5 now. Allen, he's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. And this returnable for Rager. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw is Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Von Miller, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and taken just inside the 10-yard line. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, there he goes, right side. He's at the 40, 20, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Well, they were back in the shadows for their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Throwing, Cousins. His throw incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Cousins now. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And the Bills at 7-1 now on the year. And they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And as much as we hate to play this game, you know I'm going to do it anyway. Extrapolate that over a full season. What does that come out to, partner? 14-2. And anyone in the NFL, they'd sign up for that record, that's for sure.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo 1st.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Left side caught by Diggs. And the Bills are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. They'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Allen. Caught on the slant. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. To throw, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
56.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Allen going to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. Well done. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. This is caught. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Allen now looks to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They go play action. Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brian Asamoah
in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit.
The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. And his pass incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To the air again, it's Cousins. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 42. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And now here's another interception. Jair Elam makes a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
We always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw, and he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And now they'll throw with Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
Touchdown, Bills! Darius Slayton with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bills are an extra point away from going up by 30. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll go Madison up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Cook following the penalty. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A third quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. And the Giants are starting to pull away in that one. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you start to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. We're in the third quarter in upstate New York with a 2nd and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Third down, here's a run by Cook. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt,
and they will take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23.
76 yards on the ground for him so far.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
On 2nd down, Cook.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, partner, Marvin, our number 1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Option play. Here's Cook.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out, and you and I, let's get to the airport.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook.
And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
37 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And they will take a knee here. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Buffalo, they're setting themselves up as a major contenders. They move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gon' give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect mines. Complex rhymes, and by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the up, just let me talk. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off. Quite nuclear, I major what fame could do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a Renaissance starter. My mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father. But why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we